Hello and welcome to Tech24. I'm Annelise Borges. Coming up, Africa gets a broader band. A gigantic cable is now providing faster internet and making an impact on social development. We'll take you on a trip around the continent, more connected than ever. And discover CIV Route, a collaborative platform that is helping reduce the time Ivorians spend in traffic jams in the capital, Abidjan. We'll hear from one of its creators in Test24. Today, the African continent has nearly 140 million internet users. And while that number may sound impressive, it represents only 6% of the total number of connected users around the world. This summer's rollout of the West African cable system will help boost African presence on the web. It consists of a 14,000-kilometer fiber optic cable linking 11 countries on the continent. The cable system will increase transfer speeds, carrying data, voice and video faster and cheaper. And by the end of the year, another cable, Africa Coast to Europe, will enable even more countries to access broadband. Mark Edwards is with me in the studio. Mark, this is a first for countries like Liberia and Mali. Beyond the technical aspects, what does it mean for Africans to get better, faster internet connection?
Well, I think in my humble opinion, one of the greatest things about the internet is a provision of information. So you are provided with information, endless information. And one of the great things here in this particular case is that countries that may or may not have had access to higher education, to certain types of information now can add value to themselves and educate themselves better without actually physically being able to go to a classroom. We've got some of the top universities in the entire world where your Harvards, your Cambridges are all putting much of their courses, many of their courses online. And that really, I think that really enables your average individual in Africa who may not have had the provision to actually be able to educate themselves in the right way, now can have the access to the best education in the world. And the second thing is talking more about businesses. Now, I was reading a study recently called A Connected World, which very interestingly talked about the number of businesses that would not even look at a country or look to start up a business within an emerging market that didn't have a structured, strong backbone of communications. And therefore, they were saying that 4 out of 10 business leaders would simply not invest in a country that doesn't have the ability to have an infrastructure of telecommunications. And in particular, that means it opens up, countries that before you had certain business leaders wouldn't even look at your Liberias of this world, are now thinking, right, now it's got this backbone, it's got the communications, it's got the structure. Why not? Exactly.
Absolutely.
Why not?
And how will that impact price? We know that in Lagos, for the user, we know that in Lagos, for example, a monthly contract for a slow internet connection is about $100, and that's a lot.
Oh, it's a prohibitive amount, certainly when you look at what the monthly wages are in countries like Nigeria. And I mean, the great thing is, demand is through the roof when it comes to use of the internet. We've got internet cafes are very, very, very much, they're turning people away, and people are paying up to $1 an hour just to be able to look at the internet, to surf for different things. Now, what we're hoping is that obviously the price comes down, but at first I don't think that will be the provision, simply because the cable owners will have spent a fantastic amount of money to actually put these cables in place, and they need to recoup their money fast. So what we really hope is that the buy-in, the take-up happens quickly, where those who've got some disposable income will decide, right, we want high-speed internet. And the more people that actually buy into this, then hopefully the price will come down.
And just quickly, what about the future of a digital Africa? How will Nigerians, Kenyans, Liberians, how will they appropriate the technology and make the internet a more African experience?
Well, this is it. I think right now this is a great time to be in Africa, to be African, and to really go for the African entrepreneur. This is all about them. The world is their oyster. They've been given the tools. Now it's up to them to use them properly. And we just need to look at how Western companies and Western countries are kind of looking, they're circling around African countries now, thinking, right, where's the new business venture? There are very mature markets everywhere else. Africa, not a very mature market. There's got to be business opportunities there. Let's look at Angola, for instance, now. Angola's rolling out 4G networks at the same time as, you know, countries here in Europe, as the UK and as France. And that's incredible to think a country that 10 years ago, or just over a decade, was in the midst of civil war, is now partnered up with a Chinese telecommunications firm, ZTE, and rolling out 4G networks. And I think in the next few years, we'll be seeing a lot of strategic partnerships going on. So keep an eye on that one.
Absolutely. Thanks for that, Mark. Don't go away. Test 24 is next. Ivorians lose 2 hours in traffic jams in Abidjan every day. One day, while stuck in traffic, Cyriaque Goubou had an idea. Why not use social media tools like Twitter to keep people informed about roads to avoid or when to change their route? It was the birth of CIV Route. The first version was launched this summer in Ivory Coast, and Cyriaque Goubou is already busy at work preparing versions for Benin and Cameroon, as well as a mobile app. Cyriaque Goubou spoke to France 24 about his idea.
CIV Route started off with the realization that we face a serious traffic problem in Abidjan. The principle is very simple. CIV Route is a collaborative platform. We based the project on the concept of crowdsourcing, which means gathering different sources. Today, we already have a network of internet users who are a part of the Ivorian web community and who are also drivers, since they go to work by car. These are the people that, during their daily commuting, spare a bit of time to inform us about the traffic situation, not only in Abidjan, but also all over the Ivory Coast.
And Mark, you tested the app. Yeah. Tell us what you think.
To be honest, I was pleasantly surprised about the app. It's very intuitive, very easy to use, and it's clear what it does. And what it says on the tin, very clear. You get updates as to what is going on. Is there a traffic jam? Is there an accident? What's happened? And yes, of course, it's at a very embryonic stage at this moment. So it's just beginning. We're getting to have more and more users, and that's the key, is getting buy-in. More and more people using it, more and more people using it on Twitter. Now, it does have an intelligent sort of Twitter phishing aspect where anything that's hashtag CIV Route will automatically be uploaded here, and then they'll be able to check it. And if you have a quick look here, you know, you're able to see, right, 27 incidents, what type, you can check out what type is going on at what time, and then you can also have a report on the actual incident and click in there. And no, personally, it's a good app. It needs some more work. It needs more people to buy in, and hopefully with this provision of more internet and a bigger, more connected society, people will be able to upload this straight away, get on this, and get up-to-date news. And what I'd love actually is if they were able to maybe have some sort of deals with local authorities, hospitals.
Just get the official figures.
Exactly,
official
and uploaded, you know, live, and then really give people that chance to heading to work. 2 hours, you'll be cutting out that trip at any time. But I think no, very intriguing and a good start. I think.
Have you ever been to Abidjan?
Never. No.
Well, now when you go, you have no excuse about getting stuck in traffic.
Exactly.
I guess you've got a good app there. Thanks for that, Mark. Thank you for watching this edition of Tech 24. Don't forget you can give us your feedback on the show via Facebook or on Twitter at TechF24. And finally, it's taller, lighter, and faster. Apple releases the iPhone 5 with pretty much everything we were expecting to see. It goes on sale on September 21st, and we'll get our hands on one next week for a test of all the new features. Make sure you tune in for that. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next week.